Hey traders, it's September 1st, 2020, and this is a part of the Pro Traders Workshop series. My name is Roberto, so let me start. There is a time of day, and it occurs quite frequently, um, specifically during the New York session when the markets tend to reverse or retrace. And that is the pound. So you're looking at the pound Aussie, pound dollar, pound Swiss, pound yen. Um, so when, for example, on this particular currency, pound Aussie, notice that during the Asian and let me just highlight this area because this is really important when during the Asian and European session, when the currency takes a strong direction, and pound Aussie pretty much put in its daily range for the New York session started. And that was about 163 pips. There's always, I shouldn't say always, but this is very consistent that the pound starts to retrace around that time. Notice and of course, you don't take that trade at specific, I'm looking at 10 to 11 o'clock Eastern. You don't automatically just take a trade in the opposite direction or exit the trade. You should exit the trade by 10, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. But look for a candlestick pattern, and we had one on the 1 hour chart with this bearish dark cloud cover. That was the time to exit the trade and enter a position in the opposite direction. And so I'd look for reasons to take that trade. And we had what? We had stochastics overbought, right? We had this. This is a 1 hour chart. Okay, I'm looking at this period of time at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Eastern to exit my position long. No matter how many pips you're in, you have to exit this trade around that time because if the market has put in its daily range, and it did, look at this nice rally from the Asian all the way up to 9:30 a.m. Eastern, then you have to get out of that trade because there's a chance it's going to turn around. And it did. Stochastics is overbought on the 1 hour chart. We had this bearish, this is what I was looking for, a bearish, any reversal candlestick pattern, take a trade in the opposite direction. So I wrote this thing all the way up, made about 120 pips. Then I reversed positions at 10 o'clock and just stayed in that trade till the support. Let me just show you a few more. And let me just show you gold because gold does this a lot. So here's gold. From the start of the Asian market, European session, I put in what? About $26, 266 pips. Notice that before the New York session opened, it just stalled out. And then around 10, 11 o'clock Eastern, it just collapsed and headed south. This is something I've been watching for years, and I'm always ready. I have to qualify the trade. I'm looking at stochastics, make sure it's overbought. I highlight maybe if I don't see a candlestick pattern, then I'll highlight the consolidated area, and I know that this has no room to move up anymore around this time, 10, 11 o'clock Eastern, and it collapsed and went all the way down here. So I exited at the top, and then I shorted it and exited a little while ago down here. Here's pound yen, the same thing. A nice rally to the upside during the Asian and European session. Then what? Around 10 o'clock Eastern, there's nice evening star. I look at the stochastics indicator on the 1 hour chart. There's an overbought and exited the long and then took a trade in the opposite direction and exited down here. Let me just show you all the pound crosses because this is pretty phenomenal that you can predict at a specific time if the markets rally during the European session, Asian, then by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Eastern, it's pretty much over. And look at this trade. It just gave us the nice bearish engulfing candle. Even if you were late on this trade and stayed in, you still would have made money on this trade. But I'm looking at around 10 o'clock. Maybe I'll scroll to the 15-minute chart for a better entry. And there it is, price breaking below. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me just, this chart is really sensitive, so I have to be really careful. Let me just switch over to the 1 hour chart again so I can find my space. So if I switch over to the 15-minute chart, this is my entry. There was a bearish engulfing on the 15-minute chart, and there's the trade to the downside. Let's look at just a couple more. Pound New Zealand. Okay, same thing. Here's 10 or 11 o'clock Eastern, and there's a sell-off. Look at the 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart gave us a nice bearish engulfing candle. And again, we're looking for overbought, oversold conditions. In this particular case, we're looking for an overbought stochastics. There's a trade to the downside. And I think that's it. So the pound, and here's pound Swiss. Okay. We took this, the breakout trade, we took this trade here at 120.50, rode it all the way up to the extensions, and there's the 10 o'clock retracement trade. Nice evening star on a 1 hour chart, and even if you were late on this trade, you would have still made money on this one going down. And I think that's it. So I will continue recording and emailing trade signals, rather this workshop series. It's a 10-part workshop that I will be recording. This is new. I had to update all the Pro Traders Workshop videos because the old ones are they don't reflect what's going on in the markets. They're about 10 years old. So I'm doing a new series on Pro Traders Workshop using like this trading strategy that I just showed you. Okay. So if you have any questions on this strategy or you would like to join our group, just go to the website, fx-northwest.com. Thanks for watching, guys.